There is a process happening inside your refrigerator right now, at this exact moment, that is cutting the lifespan of every piece of food you own in half. Not the age of the fridge, not the brand, not even the temperature setting. A layer of dust thinner than a fingernail coating the coils underneath your appliance is silently raising the internal temperature by up to 8 degrees, flooding your food with trapped ethylene gas and turning a 3-week shelf life into 10 days. The fix costs nothing. It takes 20 minutes. And the reason nobody told you about it is the most expensive secret in your kitchen. Hi, my name is George and this is Buried Secrets. Let me take you back, way back. Before the refrigerator, before the icebox, before the ice delivery man and his horse-drawn cart clattering down a cobblestone street at 6 in the morning. We are talking about the Roman Empire, 2,000 years ago, when wealthy Roman families built structures called glaciarium. Underground ice houses were carved deep into hillsides, packed with snow hauled down from the Alps every single winter, by hand, not by machine. It was not technology that kept the ice through the brutal Mediterranean summer. It was one principle Roman architects understood completely, and that modern appliance designers have quietly and profitably abandoned: air flow. The glaciarium was not just a cold room. It was a precisely engineered circulation system. Cold air sank to the floor. Warmer air rose naturally and escaped through vents cut into the ceiling. The temperature stayed perfectly stable because the air never sat still, never stagnated, never pooled around the food and turned hostile. Nothing rotted, nothing wilted, nothing went soft after 4 days and got quietly thrown into the trash. Food stored in a Roman glaciarium in June was still good in August. 2 months in Italy, without electricity. Medieval European nobles built their own versions called ice pits, lined with straw and buried below the frost line. In colonial America, virtually every farmhouse had a root cellar that ran on the exact same principle: constant passive airflow. Earth walls that naturally absorbed ethylene gas as it built up. Stable humidity that did not swing wildly every time someone opened the door for a midnight snack. No moving parts. No electricity. No monthly bill. No technician visit. No warranty that expires 11 months after the compressor does. Just physics that had been understood and applied by ordinary working people for 2,000 years running. A farmer in 1850 could keep carrots crisp and firm for 4 months in a root cellar he dug himself with a shovel. 4 months. Your $2,000 refrigerator with the fingerprint-resistant stainless steel finish and the app on your phone and the door alarm that beeps, if you leave it open too long, cannot keep those same carrots past 3 weeks. Something went wrong somewhere between the Roman hillside and your kitchen. And I promise you, it did not go wrong by accident. The science. What's actually happening inside your fridge? Here is what is actually happening inside your refrigerator right now, and I want you to really sit with this, because it is genuinely maddening once you understand it. Your fridge has condenser coils, either underneath the unit near the floor or on the back panel depending on the model. These coils are the engine of the entire cooling system. They release the heat pulled from inside your fridge to the outside air. When they are clean, that heat exchange is efficient, and your fridge holds a stable, consistent internal temperature. When they are coated in dust, pet hair, and kitchen grease, and they always are, that heat exchange becomes sluggish. The coils overheat. The compressor works harder. And here is the part that destroys your food. The internal temperature fluctuates. It spikes. It does not stay at the number on your dial. It cycles up and down in small increments that you would never notice by feel, but that fruits and vegetables, and dairy and meat absolutely notice at the cellular level. Temperature fluctuation is the single biggest driver of premature food spoilage. Not age, not the quality of the food when you bought it. Fluctuation. A strawberry that would last 12 days at a rock-solid 38 degrees Fahrenheit will go soft and moldy in 6 days. If the temperature swings between 36 and 44 degrees repeatedly, which is exactly what dusty coils cause. And that is before we even talk about ethylene gas. Fruits, especially apples, bananas, avocados, and pears, emit ethylene as they ripen. Ethylene is essentially a natural ripening signal, and in a well-ventilated cold environment, it dissipates harmlessly. In a fridge with poor airflow and inconsistent temperatures, it becomes concentrated. Concentrated ethylene in a confined space is like broadcasting a chemical message to every other piece of produce in there. Ripen, right now, all of you, at the same time. Now I want to ask you something. Who benefits from that? The suppression, why nobody told you. The average American household throws away roughly 32% of the food it purchases. Stop and let that number sit for a second. 32%. That is not a rounding error. That is not the occasional forgotten banana or the leftovers nobody wanted. That is nearly 1 in every 3 bags of groceries you carry through your front door going directly into the trash. You paid for it. You drove to the store for it. You put it away, and then you threw it away. And somewhere in a boardroom, someone is very quietly pleased about that. The food waste ecosystem in the United States, and I do want to call it an ecosystem because that is exactly what it is, meaning the grocery chains, the packaging corporations, the appliance manufacturers, the replacement part distributors, the premium pre-washed, pre-cut, pre-packaged produce brands charging you $4 for half a head of lettuce in a plastic clamshell. All of it together generates over $400 billion annually. $400 billion. Built on a single foundation. You replacing food you already bought. That is the entire business model. Not feeding you. Replacing what spoiled before you could eat it. Now here is the part that should make you genuinely angry. Your appliance manufacturer knows, always known, the information that dusty condenser coils cause temperature instability and accelerate food spoilage is sitting inside their own engineering documentation. It is in the internal maintenance manuals their technicians carry. It has been documented since the 1950s, when mechanical refrigeration was still a relatively new household technology, and the engineers understood exactly how the system worked, and exactly what happened when it was neglected. That knowledge did not disappear. It was just very carefully relocated. To page 47 of a warranty booklet, printed in a font size that I am convinced requires a prescription to read. Tucked between the section on acceptable voltage fluctuations and the paragraph about not storing flammable liquids near the compressor. They did not hide it dramatically. There was no meeting where someone twirled a mustache and said, "Bury this information." They simply stopped putting it in front of you. Stopped including it in the quick start guide. Stopped printing it on a sticker inside the door. Stopped mentioning it anywhere a normal human being would actually look. Because a customer who spends 20 minutes cleaning their coils twice a year and extends the shelf life of their groceries by 2 weeks is a customer who buys 32% less food. And the grocery industry did not build itself into a $400 billion machine by encouraging you to waste less. But here is the detail that I cannot stop thinking about, and honestly neither should you. Refrigerators built in the 1960s and 1970s had their condenser coils mounted directly on the back of the unit, fully exposed, completely visible. You walked past your fridge, you glanced at the back, and you could see with your own eyes whether the coils needed attention, the same way you can see that your car needs a wash. You did not need a manual. You did not need a technician. You just needed eyes. Then sometime in the early 1980s, manufacturers began recessing those coils underneath the appliance behind a snap-off grill panel positioned at floor level, facing the wall, in the one location in your kitchen that no human being ever voluntarily looks. The stated justification was aesthetics, cleaner lines, more modern profile, and maybe that is genuinely all it was. I will give them that, maybe. But the consequence of that design decision, intentional or not, was that the single most important maintenance task for your refrigerator became completely and permanently invisible to the person who owns it. A problem you cannot see is a problem you never fix, and a problem you never fix is a revenue stream that never closes. Make of that what you will. The $0 fix, exactly what to do. Pull your refrigerator away from the wall, not dramatically, just enough to work around it. Unplug it. If your model has coils on the back, you will see them immediately. A series of black or dark gray tubes running in a grid pattern. If your model has coils underneath, look for a grill panel at the bottom front of the unit. It snaps or slides off without tools. Take a stiff bristled brush, a broom, a dry paintbrush, anything with bristles, and drag it across the coils in long strokes, dislodging dust and debris. Then run a vacuum along the coils and the floor beneath them. That is it. That is the whole thing. Plug the fridge back in, push it back to the wall, and your compressor is now running the way it did the day the unit was manufactured. Do this every 6 months. Now for the ethylene problem. Put an open box of baking soda on a shelf in your refrigerator right now if you do not have one there already. Baking soda is a mild alkaline compound that neutralizes ethylene gas on contact. It also absorbs the acidic odors that come from decomposing food, which is why your fridge smells the way it does when you forget about the leftovers from 2 weeks ago. A box of baking soda costs under $2 and lasts 90 days. Replace it quarterly. Separate your ethylene producers, the apples, bananas, and avocados, from your ethylene-sensitive items, the leafy greens, berries, and herbs. Store them in different drawers. That single rearrangement can double the shelf life of your salad greens, not an exaggeration. Actual documented chemistry. Set your refrigerator temperature to 37 degrees Fahrenheit, not 35, not 40, 37. That is the sweet spot where bacterial growth slows to its minimum safe rate, and your compressor is not working so hard that it creates condensation swings. Most refrigerators ship from the factory set to 40 degrees, which is the absolute legal minimum for food safety, not the optimal temperature for food longevity. The difference between 40 degrees and 37 degrees in a clean, well-maintained fridge is roughly 8 to 14 additional days of shelf life on most perishables. Roman engineers figured out stable cold airflow 2,000 years ago with rocks and packed snow. Your great-grandmother's root cellar outperformed your refrigerator with nothing but soil and shade and common sense, passed down through generations. That knowledge did not disappear because a better solution arrived. It disappeared because a more profitable solution did. A clean coil, a box of baking soda, a temperature dial, and 20 minutes of your afternoon. That is the difference between throwing away 1 in 3 bags of groceries and actually eating what you paid for. If this vault changed how you look at what is sitting in your kitchen right now, subscribe to Buried Secrets and share this with someone whose produce drawer is a graveyard. Every share is a crack in the wall they built around knowledge that was never theirs to hide.